crazy? Like, do you really think you the good guy or the victim in this? Like, do you really feel like you justified? What do you mean more than he deserves? I don't know, like, y'all, I am just so mind blown at how pretty much Teddy don't take accountability, just like Louis. Like, I don't understand this whole exchange, and it was irking me that Franklin wasn't speaking up. Like, no, bro, you did this. You caused all of this. You killed my pops. You stole my money. You double-crossed me. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be recapping Snowfall episode 8. Y'all, we really getting down to it. We have 2 episodes left. This is episode 8. We have a total of 10 episodes. So whatever is gonna happen, baby, it's about to happen now. We getting down to the real meat of how this entire story is going to finally conclude. Now we are at Jerome's repast at Sissy's house, and y'all know we got the plan that Franklin is trying to pop off using Louis and Oso. And y'all know I was questioning last episode, like, why would Franklin even trust Louis? Why would he even need her if he got Oso? But baby needed her. Franklin definitely put this plan in motion in a very smart way. Now, I like the kind of like suspense they put on Oso and Louis this episode, where it kind of felt like, wait, you finna double cross, or are you going with the plan? Or you finna double cross? It was like certain looks that Louis was given, and also just accumulation of the fact that we know she blames Franklin for every single thing. You know, she called him the devil, which really, if you want to really say who fault this is, I'm putting it on White Boy Rob and the government, because if White Boy Rob did not need to send Franklin in to buy his drugs for him from Ivy, Franklin would have never even got in this game, had no way in the game. But you know what? I've been really hating Louis a lot, and I still do. But the thing with Louis is, obviously her story has not concluded yet. So I'm very anxious to see where exactly we're going to go with her in these final 2 episodes. But I feel like I really need Louis to take some type of accountability. But I was thinking about it, and you know what? I can appreciate the fact that none of this would have been possible without Louis helping Franklin move that first brick. He had, what did Ivy give him? 24 hours to move that first brick. Jerome refused to help him. If it wasn't for Louis, that would have never happened. That laid the ground foundation for everything that Franklin built. Also, which I completely forgot about, but the actress that plays Louis, she had like this interview she did. I didn't read all of it. I kind of skimmed like the beginning of it, but also, y'all remember Louis was out and Franklin begged her to come back in. Like, she has been pivotal to Franklin's whole operation, and even down to when she kind of double crossed him. Not kind of, she did double cross him. Remember Franklin saying like the bulk of what he makes comes from Louis and Jerome, but really we know Louis was, running that whole thing. But I'm like, I can appreciate the fact that Louis is ambitious. I can appreciate the fact that she's trying to, stake her claim or solidify her position in a very male-dominated. Because who else is in this game that's a female besides Louis and like her, partner from down south? But nobody else. We had Man Boy, we had Scully, we had Ivy, Leon, that first best friend they had, that Kevin. Like, nobody in this game is a woman except Louis. So I can appreciate the position she's in, but the fact of the matter is, for me, number one, Louis was not moving smart towards the end. Separating from Franklin is one thing. I can't even get mad at you for that. However, going behind him to get in bed with Teddy, and you know what? I'm not going to say it wasn't smart to go around Franklin to the connect. If the connect was anybody else but Teddy, what makes it not smart is you went behind his back, Franklin's back, to get in bed with the CIA, with the person that screwed over your nephew who has been working with him for years. So I don't know, that for me isn't smart. So anyway, we got also at Jerome's repass and everything, and y'all already know when the KGB guy, Ruben, popped up in the house and his girl was like, this is getting to be too much. Me and the kids gonna have to leave without you. You don't know where we go, because of course she want her kids to be safe, and this is getting really out of hand. Now we got a scene of also with the kids before she was supposed to be taking them off to school, and it was very endearing, seeing Oso in this role, which Oso is a character I've always liked since the beginning when he was working with those cousins, but he goes to give the boys his old wrestling mask, which apparently he ain't washed since his wrestling days, because the little boy was like, oh, it smells funny. But this really felt like a goodbye. But we know it's because him and old girl has already made their plan that she would leave with the kids, and he still got to be here wrapping this stuff up. But we got to also look at the evolution of this friendship with Oso and Franklin. So Franklin has enlisted Oso to help bring Teddy down. And the deal was to give Oso X amount of money, which we know that Franklin just borrowed from Leon, and get passports for his family, which Franklin finally gets him everything this episode. And y'all, did I peep that was the infamous backpack from the first season? Is that what that backpack was that Franklin handed Oso? But Oso been about to freaking have a heart attack. He has been under so much stress and so much pressure, but finally he at least gets his family safe so he could breathe a sigh of relief on that. He don't know if he gonna live, if he gonna make it out, if he gonna go to jail, but at this point his family is together. Now when he goes to the repass, he gets the money, the passports and everything from Franklin. They're supposed to be getting together to talk about the plan, and with Louis. Now Franklin and Oso was saying something in this conversation, and I was like, wait, what are they talking about? Because Oso was kind of like, did you tell her, or does she, fully know everything? And at first I thought it was like does she know I'm working with you and double crossing Teddy? But yeah, she does. So I was wondering, what was that whole thing about? I don't know. But anyway, so the little suspense that I said they was kind of putting on, and we'll get to Oso later because that comes way later in the episode. But when Franklin is talking to Louis, she pretty much, Oso comes in, she walks out, seemingly just overwhelmed because her husband, of course, the man she loved just died. So she goes off to kind of get away from everybody, take a breath. But the way she looked in the mirror, the way her whole posture and demeanor was, I just kept being like, I thought it was not smart for Franklin to trust her. But she hits Franklin with the whole, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this to rid myself of Teddy, get clear of Teddy. But this is also why I say I can appreciate the ambition. I can even appreciate ruthlessness when you trying to climb, not in real life, but in this drug game that they in. I can appreciate being cutthroat. I can appreciate being ruthless. Not cutthroat, because I feel like cutthroat means you gonna double cross folk you supposed to be loyal to, but y'all know what I'm trying to say, ruthless. But she has not been moving smart, because baby, how you want to get clear of somebody you ain't even need to get clear of? You made the decision to get in bed with Teddy, and now a hop, skip, jump later, you need to get clear of him. Like, it just, like, what was your long game? What was the plan? It just, I don't know, that just didn't make any sense to me, which is also why I was like, is she double crossing him? But we end up seeing Louie on the phone, and I love the way they did this, because when she's on the phone, she's sitting at her desk, we can only see Louie. We don't know who's in the room, even though we know she's quote unquote, you know, in with Franklin, but we don't know if she double crossing him or not. But we see her on the phone making arrangements with Teddy, and he pretty much tells her, come along, but she's like, I'm gonna need, you know, some kind of help. So the plan is that she tells him Franklin is completely broke. He asked me to borrow money. I said yes. When he meets me to get it, I have my guys, you know, get them, and I bring them to you. He wants her to come along. Teddy wants her to come along, but she's like, I'm at least need one more person. So he's like, fine, one person. If I see any more, I'm going to assume you're double crossing me. And that's when she gets off the call and the camera pans and we see that Franklin and Oso are in the room. And I'm still nervous and scared, because I kind of feel like if I'm Oso, I don't want nobody knowing that I'm double crossing Teddy that is in communication with Teddy, because I don't need them blowing up my spot. I feel like, though, no matter how things would have gone pertaining to Franklin, I feel like this would not have ended well for Louie, no matter how you rolled the dice. Because getting in bed with Teddy, he's a snake. He's a weasel. You cannot trust him. It would have never ended well for her. But anyway, some more events that transpired at the repast that I'm kind of scratching my head about and wondering, okay, where are we going with this? We see Leon and Scully at a table having a conversation. Leon is crying, and we know that things really shifted for Leon when he killed Scully's little girl. Accidentally killed her, but killed her nonetheless when they were scoping out, I think it was Scully's grandmother's house, and old boys from Scully crew was riding in the car with his girl and his child. But I want to say, if I can remember that scene correctly, it was Leon and Fatback, but I want to say the little girl was small where you couldn't even see her in the car, and I want to say that Leon didn't even recognize he shot the little girl until old girl was crying and screaming because her child was dead. But anyway, we know that that was a big pivotal thing for Leon, and he's still carrying guilt from that. So he's crying, and Scully is pretty much like, we know no better, I forgive you. Now, I'm wondering where we're going with this, for the reason of, is this genuine? Does Scully really forgive him? Because Jerome killed Scully's baby mama. Leon killed Scully's baby. Is he really just washing his hands clean of everything and really in forgiveness mode? Or is he got a whole backstab plan in motion to get revenge? I'm not sure. But I will say, as much as I love the character development and where we have pivoted when it comes to Wanda's character, when it comes to Scully's character, and when it comes to Avi's character, what is really odd to me is Scully and Avi are the two characters that, when introduced to the audience, was batshit crazy. Like, do y'all remember Scully's introduction to the audience? Scully was unhinged. He was in there torturing niggas like he was bat-ish crazy. And I feel like him and Avi went from off they rocker to a sound mind very quickly and easily. Like, I can't even, for me, there was no moment that they shifted around to change those characters. They just kind of changed. And yes, Scully had a big change when that pivoted around losing his daughter and his girl, but he was already not completely batshit crazy before his daughter died. It's like when we first used to interact with Scully, they'll be in there talking to Scully looking like, hearing screams coming from the back. But then it got to the point where we were just talking to him and it would be like just normal conversation. I don't know. It's just like Scully and Avi just went from one end of the spectrum to just straight and narrow and calm, cool, collected very easily. I mean, even to Leon taking advice from Avi, which, you know, pivoted to why he went to Africa. They just started to, I don't know. For me, I don't like how that happened with the writers, because I feel like they started off too far to the left, like too far crazy to suddenly and quickly just be straight and narrow. And not straight and narrow, because y'all know they criminals. But I mean, as far as them not being as insane. But anyway, another event that happened at this repast that I'm wondering how this is going to come into play is also ask Franklin, does he still have his plane? I'm not sure what went down with that. Is that how his girl and her kids got out on Franklin's plane? I highly doubt that. But what was the whole purpose of needing Franklin's plane? I'm not sure. So I'm wondering, is that going to come into play in the final 2 episodes, or is that coming into play after I help you capture Teddy? I get to fly out somewhere on your plane? I'm not sure. But I'm really wondering how this is all going to play out with that information, with the Scully and Leon. And hey, maybe it is 100% Scully is being honest, and this is how we're wrapping up that situation instead of just leaving it unspoken, which wouldn't make much sense that he, because I was thinking when we saw them all come together to rescue Louis, I sure was like, it looked like Scully side-eyeing Leon, because you can't just leave that thread in the story just hanging. But y'all, how Franklin still can afford that plane? You know how expensive it is to be gassing up a plane? But anyway, something else that was odd that happened at this repast, and I'm wondering if this is going to play into something, is Franklin has a flashback to a conversation with Melody. And yeah, you could say we flash back for the purpose of him saying nothing more important than protecting the ones you love. But there's other situations we could have flashed back to give us that. So why did we choose a Melody interaction to flash back to? Is Melody gonna pop back up? Is everything gonna seemingly be wrapping up in Saint's favor and he's gonna be selling off into the sunset, and then all of a sudden, not the blue, Melody gonna pop up to get back for him killing her dad? Because remember, and not, you know, he ain't say, but he pretty much told her, yeah, I killed your dad, you're not crazy. He ain't, you know, confess and say it, but in an unspoken way he said it. So I don't know, I'm just wondering why, of all the things we could have flashed back to convey that message, why did we choose a Melody flashback? I don't know. Am I reaching? But I was just like, why Melody? Why Melody? Now let's get to the least interesting storyline that I really don't be caring nothing about. Teddy and his girl, child. I don't care nothing about them. Look, let that girl just sail off to the sunset, go somewhere, just get out of here, just get out the mix, child. Or if you stay in the mix, you're gonna have to just die. But anyway, Teddy, boss man from the CIA, comes to visit him, and he's pretty much like, y'all know he seized assets, illegal assets, as he said, when he stole Franklin's money. So his boss is pretty much like, transfer the assets to us, Franklin money, and you'll get your blue badge. You'll have the full, you know, force of the CIA behind you. However, he goes with his girl, and he's like, what did he say? After what happened last night, I can't give them the money. The CIA is no longer an option. It's no longer our future. Now, y'all, why he asked, because she's like, he ends up saying, because from a conversation I had previously, you said there were other ways to obtain power. We need to figure out what that looks like. And then she's like, I need assurances. And he wants to know what kind of assurance. And that's when she's like, well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Now that you said that, I actually got something. And she goes and pulls something out and sits it on the table. And he was sitting there for a long time. And I was like, why did he just sit here staring at this? Like, what is it? But he was sitting there staring for a long time because nigga jumped up like Ike Turner about she done went through his things. Apparently it's his grandmother's, was it his grandmother's ring or his mother's ring? I think it was his grandmother's ring. And he goes to give her the most awkward, passionless proposal. Baby, y'all, am I the only person that don't give a damn about him and this girl? Like, I get it, or maybe I don't get it, but I think I get it. They're like showing Teddy in a different light. I thought the purpose of including her to the story and giving her so much is because, or giving her so much screen time, is to create a weak spot for Teddy. I thought we would get Teddy through her, but nope, that's not how it happened. So what's the point of her? I'm going to presume that she gonna pop up in a pivotal way in one of these final episodes, because we can't have given her this much bulk of story and storyline and screen time with Teddy just for it to what? End here? Because the episode ends, we got Teddy. So if it ends where we just never hear from her again, that's going to irk me. Because why did we even do this in the first place? We need to wrap her story up. So I'm wondering, how is she finna pop up in some kind of way? But anyway, they engaged now, child. Does anybody care? I don't care. I sure am so mad though that the way we got get back on Teddy was not to be able to kill or torture her in front of him, because I just want to hurt him so bad. I don't even want to hurt her, but in order for me to really hurt Teddy, I want to hurt her because he cares about her. But anyway, when I tell y'all, I was watching this episode and him proposing to her, I literally got sick to my stomach. I cannot stand Teddy. I can't stand this nigga haircut. I can't stand the way his facial hair look. I can't stand his voice. I can't stand his attitude. I need them to do something real nasty to Teddy. I'm talking about I need him to really get his comeuppance for everything, for outing, and for the unmitigated gall to be like, Franklin killed my father. You killed his! Like, it is irking me so bad that that's not coming into play. You killed his father first. You stole his money first. Franklin ain't do nothing to you until you did something to him. And after you killed his daddy, he ain't do nothing to you. But anyway, so we get to the whole plan that is supposed to be unfolding of how Franklin is going to get Teddy. And the pivotal key to his plan working out is Oso. Now, Oso is going to do a pickup at the border or something along those lines. Don't quote me, I might be messing that up. But anyway, he's pretty much get told by the DEA guy, the main DEA guy, that he finna send the female agent with Oso, because he's like, we get into the end, we finna wrap this up. And normally informants in your position, when we're at this point, they want assurances, they want to see legal documents, they want to see paperwork, they want to know that we're going to uphold our end of the deal, they're not going to jail, etc., etc. But you ain't doing none of that. So it's looking suspect. So we're going to send her with you. So he goes, they do the deal, but she reports back to the DEA boss and she's like, something is off with him. They asked who I was. He didn't stick to the script. He tells them I'm DEA. And even though he said it in like a joke, it's not like him. Something ain't right, something going on. So we got also riding in the truck with the product, and we got the main DEA guy in the passenger side, and we're supposed to be going to set up and get Teddy, which I don't know how Oso was thinking he was finna play this. Oh, I do know how he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking he was gonna play this out because they were supposed to be headed to the warehouse, but I didn't know how he was thinking this would play out, because at this time he's supposed to be a part of Franklin plan. So we're in the truck. He gets a page. He tells the DEA guy that it's Teddy. When he goes to the payphone, he pages Franklin, because we need his page, Oso's page, to kind of set this ish off so we know, okay, it's a go. But the DEA guy, because remember, we already feeling a little suspicious, and we side-eyed Oso, he decides to get out the car to stand behind him at the payphone. And he's like, that's the second phone call you've made. Now, while this is going down, when old girl, his female agent, told him how weird Oso was acting, he's like, yo, check on Gustavo's family. And we already know they're supposed to be getting the heck up out of Dodge City. So all of a sudden, after Gustavo tries to say, I'm calling Teddy, that's who I'm calling, I dialed twice because he not hitting me back. And he does, in fact, talk to Teddy. But that's when the other agents pull up and they're like, his girl is gone, and he's trying to say we got in a fight, that's why she left to the kids. But then they're like, nah, the neighbor, who is this neighbor? Because this neighbor running their mouth. But he's like, the neighbor says she packed up, she took stuff out the house, packing suitcases, and left with her mama. So she done took the mama and the kids. So if you have a fight with your girl, she ain't taking her mama, child. So they know something's up and decide to arrest Oso. But something that I was thinking was finna lead somewhere, which maybe it still will, I don't know, but hasn't. When they were riding in the car, the DEA guy and Gustavo, he starts talking about that female agent. Remember, y'all, I couldn't stand this later. Oh, Lord, that DEA lady who got Oso and his girlfriend, I could not stand her. Like, oh. But anyway, he starts talking about how the current DEA female agent is the third that he has mentored, that also didn't know the first, but he knew the second, which also along with the audience, and how he likes working with women because, you know, their instincts, they can see through men's posturing and BS, etc., and they're smart. And he starts talking about how he couldn't prove it, but he always suspected that Teddy killed his last female agent. And then when they found drugs and stuff like hidden in her speakers or something amongst her stuff, that's when it really solidified for him that Teddy killed her. And he's mad because she was made to, you know, look like she was a dirty cop when she wasn't, because he planted all that stuff and did all that, and she just disappeared. And I was wondering if he was kind of baiting Oso, because of course we know Teddy didn't kill his agent. Oso did. Oso killed her. Teddy just helped him cover it all up. So I thought this was finna lead somewhere. And when they arrested him, he's like, they gonna put you under the jail. I'm not sure, but I don't think they put you under the jail for selling drugs. So I was feeling like, is it under the jail because he killed a DEA agent? Which I don't know how he would know anything about what happened, because we know it was Oso and his ex-girlfriend mama walk into the warehouse and we kill her. Nobody know but us three. So, but it just felt like, what was the point of this conversation? It didn't lead us anywhere, which again, it may still lead us somewhere. But anyway, y'all, this was so stupid. But you know what? Let's not even get to the DEA and their stupidity. Okay, so we got Franklin, V, Scully, and Louie, and we all meet up somewhere. And at first I was confused because I was like, why the fuck is V here? But she was just here to drop Franklin off. And something that I thought was interesting, and I'm wondering if this is going to go anywhere, is the whole situation with Buckley. Louis is busy blaming Franklin for why Jerome is dead. But really, if you want to get technical, Buckley is at fault for why Jerome is dead. Because Jerome called Buckley to help with the rescue, but he was busy getting high. And it could have possibly went in a way that Jerome didn't die if we had Buckley. Because maybe it would have been Jerome and Buckley who bust up in that room to save you. And it would have been their two guns against Kane's one gun. And Jerome could have possibly lived. So I'm wondering, when they had Jerome's funeral, she asked Buckley, Jerome ain't paid you, he ain't called you to come help, and Buckley's like, no. So I was wondering, did she buy that? So when she's told by Teddy you could bring one person, she doesn't bring Buckley, who was like the top person that she was always getting to do business for her. She gets Scully. So I'm wondering, did she not buy Buckley's answer at the funeral that Jerome, didn't hit him up? Is the reason he's not here because she don't trust him and she believes that Jerome did hit him up? I'm not sure if that's going to go anywhere. But anyway, we going down with the plan, And of course, in order to make this look believable, if we do a deal and I snatch Franklin up, of course he gonna put up a fight. Of course he need to have bruises. So he pretty much tells her to hit him. Well, at first he asked Scully. And Scully like, nah, bro, like that ain't me. So she hitting him, and this was a great scene. And he's pretty much like, yo, I don't even feel that. Come on, not hit me. I know you've been wanting to do this. And she gets the chance to take all her, well, not all, but a good amount of her frustration out on on Franklin before Scully comes over and kind of pulls her off him because she starts getting emotional. But Teddy ends up changing the plan at the last minute. He wants them, instead of like her being there and giving Franklin to Teddy, he's like, just drop him and leave him there and you leave. So honestly, y'all, I was so worried because Franklin pretty much tells her, as long as Oso does his thing, I'll be perfectly fine. They had his mouth duct tape, Saints, and had his arms and legs duct tape. And I was like, did we have to duct tape his arms and legs? Didn't we sneak a weapon on him? Like, I was just like, I hope you ain't finna just be assed out. Because at this point, we know Oso ass done got arrested. And I don't see no way that he gonna be able to get here to save you and, put this whole plan into motion. Now, we got the DEA. 3 of them riding in the car with Oso. And then we got the female agent in the truck with the goods. She riding there by herself. Now I guess we said F Teddy and our whole mission to get him, and we just finna arrest Gustavo because we ain't going to the warehouse no more. So I started feeling like something is weird because the female agent is in the car and she just la bitty bitty bamba. And I'm saying like, girl, why is you in here dancing and singing like you Selena? Like she was just being so casual. And I would think if I'm DEA or some type of law enforcement, ain't I supposed to be clocking everything, paying attention to my surroundings? Like, how you in there dancing and listening to music up loud? And I don't know, it was so weird. I immediately was like, okay, something off. Something finna go down. Something finna happen. And that's when we see a car come up behind them with the lights off. And then he turns the lights on and rams them and makes the car crash. Again, if I'm law enforcement, do I not pay attention to my surroundings? Especially when we are dealing with somebody like Teddy, that is the CIA. Everything they was doing, they would be out in the open. It was just irking me. Like, how y'all know that Teddy ain't watching y'all? How y'all know Teddy ain't following Oso or having him follow? Like, how we don't notice a car trailing behind us? And yeah, it's dark, but the second the headlights popped on, y'all ain't noticed headlights suddenly popped on behind y'all. And I kind of feel like even if you're in the dark, you got street lights and stuff, you can see you should be able to see it's a car behind you. I don't care if the headlight's not on, but whatever. It just irked me. This whole setup happening right here with the DA and how they was moving, it just felt really sloppy and really stupid. But anyway, then it gets more stupid. So they wreck out. The truck stops and the girl looks so damn confused, y'all. So damn confused. And literally, her reaction time for me was so slow. I'm like, bitch, if you don't move, you ain't just see they crash. You ain't hear they crashed. Y'all, this irked me so bad. She sat there just looking so confused. And I'm like, you ain't hear the car crash behind you. So she gets out the car or the truck. She got her flashlight and her gun. You know how it's a law enforcement move. You know somebody a cop when they do that flashlight gun thing. And we see also and other agents in the car, presumably knocked out but not dead. And she comes to the car, she opens the door, she starts to talk on the walkie, and that's when we see the KGB guy come up behind her and kill her. And he tells also Teddy and Franklin at the warehouse, you about to help me finish my mission. Now, I'm wondering if that DEA lead guy gonna just go rogue and be out to kill and get revenge instead of trying to arrest. Cause it's the second female agent that done got killed on his watch. If I'm not mistaken, they not dead, they knocked out, but she got shot. So I'm wondering, when he comes to and also is gone, what's gonna be the play? Like, where we gonna go from here? Now, I honestly was kind of annoyed with Franklin's attitude when he at the warehouse, and seemingly he's stuck. Also ain't show up. He gets knocked out when Teddy comes to pick him up because he kicks him in the face. And when he comes to, child, Teddy done hung him up. And he's like, sorry about your pops. I don't know. I didn't like this. I wanted more attitude. Even if I'm finna die, even if I'm caught, I'm still finna just be going in because I'm not sorry about killing your dad. You killed mine. I just was annoyed. Like, Franklin, why are you saying sorry I killed your dad? And I think it was like things just got out of control. No, things didn't just get out of control. You stole my money, which is why I had to kill your father to get to you. And even when he goes to get Franklin and he's like, what is that you said about my son? Oh, I can't stand Teddy. I can't stand Teddy. But anyway, the KGB guy, I'm not sure about why he decided on this course of action. Because just as Teddy is about to kill Franklin with some shot, he finna inject him with some chemicals or poison or whatever, the KGB guy comes in. He has a gun on Oso. Why did you even need Oso? You obviously don't trust him. He did not agree to work with you. You came and got him and you are forcing him. But why? First of all, the KGB guy working by himself. So how was he able to watch the warehouse to see Teddy pull up with Franklin and also simultaneously know where Oso and the DEA was on whatever road they was driving on? Unless the DEA them were driving to the warehouse and they was near the warehouse and that's how the KGB guy got him. But I thought we arrested Oso and was taking his ass to jail. So, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we arrested Oso, but we're still headed to the warehouse to get Teddy. But anyway, getting Oso, if I'm the KGB guy, don't make sense. Because I could see if I'm like, I'm giving you a chance, you know, to work with me, and you gonna come up one way, I'm gonna come up in the other way. Because you know how like you come into a building and you need different people coming in at certain points, but we ain't do that. We both walked in the same exact entrance. You got a gun on Oso, so what did you even need him here for? I didn't understand that. But anyway, now right before they bust up in there, Teddy is literally just about to kill Franklin, and he's like, you'll just feel a little pinch and you'll go to sleep, which is more than you deserve. And I'm really saying, like, is Teddy fucking crazy? Like, do you really think you the good guy or the victim in this? Like, do you really feel like you justified? What do you mean more than he deserves? I don't know, like, y'all, I am just so mind blown at how pretty much Teddy don't take accountability, just like Louis. Like, I don't understand this whole exchange, and it was irking me that Franklin wasn't speaking up. Like, no, bro, you did this. You caused all of this. You killed my pops. You stole my money. You double-crossed me. It just all was irking me. But anyway, KGB got bust up in right on time, got a gun on Oso. And of course, during this whole exchange, Teddy still don't know that Oso has successfully played his ass. But this was so stupid. The KGB guy, you know, tells Teddy, take your gun out your back, drop it, etc., etc. And he gives Oso handcuffs and tells him to handcuff Teddy to the tractor. And y'all, I don't know if I'm tripping, but Teddy said loud as hell when Oso walked over to him, I got a gun down in my shoe on my ankle. And I'm saying, like, nigga, we could hit you. Like, it just felt like he said that so loud. But the KGB guy's like, you think I'm stupid? Like, give me that gun out his ankle. But that's when also, kind of tucks back, knocked the gun out of KGB guy hand. They started fighting, which at first KGB guy was kind of getting also, and I'm like, baby, also you a wrestler, but also ends up, not also, the KGB guy ends up in the middle of the fight kicking the little container that Franklin is standing on that got the little noose around his neck, and he starts hanging and choking. And this is when I was saying that they put some suspense on whether Oso was going to help Franklin or not. Oso do this big body slam wrestler move on the KGB guy, who I want to say not dead, he just knocked out, but hey, maybe he dead, but I thought he was just knocked out. But he also standing there catching his breath after the fight, just time pat. I'm feeling like it's seconds. Franklin up there choking, and I'm like, nigga, you gonna help him? He's choking to death. He can't breathe. I just felt like it was taking quite a while. But then Teddy also does go to help Franklin. And Teddy got the nerve to say he's a traitor also. Like, bro, Teddy crazy. Teddy is really a traitor? Traitor? Baby, you the traitor. Because we was working together and you stole my motherfucking money. We made a deal that my dad and my mom would go off to Cuba and you would leave them alone, and you killed my father. I don't know, y'all, I need some satisfaction. I need Teddy to end up in one of Jigsaw traps. Like, I need something real nasty to happen to Teddy, because I can't stand that nigga. And you know what? Teddy only acts hard when he got the upper hand, when he in a position of power. Because I'm thinking back to when Teddy first got in this, when the first CIA guy ended up overdosing, and that Hispanic guy went to Teddy, and he first met Avi. Like, he be shook. Teddy be shook. Unless he got the upper hand. And when he was all, what are you doing? Oh, so he's a traitor. He was shook. Voice was shaking. Like, you ain't dominant now. But I am kind of worried that he just in them handcuffs, because I feel like he was telling the KGB guy, I'm trained to shoot with both hands. I would think you trained to get out of handcuffs. I done seen plenty of action movies where you just like bend your thumb, break your thumb down, and squeeze through the handcuffs. So I'm going to presume Teddy know how to get out of some handcuffs. But also gets Franklin down, cuts the noose off his neck. When I tell you Franklin made it through this plan by the skin of his teeth. Literally. But I love when also it's like, what do you want to do now, Moreno? And I'm like, hold on, first of all, what we need to do, take the gun off Ted's ankle, secure him in a much better way than just them handcuffs, and kill the KGB guy. That's what we need to do next. We also need to hurry up and get out of this warehouse. We need to get out of this warehouse quick, fast, and in a hurry, because the CEA boss could show up. We need to not be at Teddy's spot. We need to be somewhere hidden that don't nobody know Teddy is there except for me and you. That's top priority. Now, we are still got a problem, because we got Teddy, but we still need Teddy to get me my money. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, we ended up seeing V, and she's just chilling, and all of a sudden she clutches her stomach, and I think she's losing a baby, because she seemed not far enough along to be going into labor. I feel like she don't even really look pregnant. Like, when she was clutching her stomach, I really couldn't see like a pronounced baby bump. So I feel like she could be losing the baby. She hasn't been very smart. First of all, you pregnant. You're not supposed to be putting like a lot of stress on yourself. And when Franklin told her, if anything go wrong, you need to just get out of the country, she ain't even really want to do that. And I'm like, girl, it's just irking me how she's seemingly not putting her baby first. Like, she putting Franklin above everything, which is fine, except he shouldn't be above your dang baby. So I'm not sure what's finna play out with this, but it's going to piss me off if Franklin gets sidetracked with V going to the hospital or losing a baby or something, and somehow Teddy's girlfriend come rescue him because we leave Teddy tied up at the warehouse, which would be the dumbest thing we could possibly do. But why did V just fall out? Like, what is that finna lead to? All I know is we finally got Teddy, and nothing better not mess this ish up. We better hold him tight and do something. But I'm just not sure how this finna play with V falling out. But I did predict that the baby would die. Remember I said V was gonna die, I said the baby was gonna die, and Franklin was just gonna end up with everybody he loved dead and with his riches. Now that we got Teddy, I really need us to come up with something real sick to do to him. And I'm really, y'all know, when y'all want to know the first thing that popped in my head, the first thing I was thinking was we need old boy from the earlier season. Remember when Franklin was first getting into the game and he got jumped and they stole his money, and he enlisted Leon and another guy to come help get the money back, and that third guy ended up raping old boy and getting the money and double crossing them like, F y'all, this is my money. I'm sitting here like, yo, we need him to get on Teddy's ass, literally. Like, I just want something real horrific to happen. Like, like I just need something like, y'all, terrible. But I'm also wondering, like I said, if Teddy's girlfriend gonna come into play, because he said to her, you said there were different ways to obtain power, we need to figure something out. So I'm wondering, did we already put something in motion? Because Teddy was taking some time mixing up chemicals, but seemingly was getting this over with quick when it came to Franklin. He wasn't finna sit there and torture him for 27 hours. He was finna just kill him, like, kind of immediately. So I'm wondering, did we have something else we needed to move on and get to? Did he already put something in motion with old girl? But 2 episodes left, y'all. I'm feeling like we're gonna go out with a bang. I feel like something real just jaw-dropping and crazy is about to go down, and hopefully it's something crazy and jaw-dropping that I'm gonna love. But I'm excited. I can't wait for these next 2 episodes. Last episode was the first episode this season, and I was kind of let down with, because I felt like we were kind of dragging the story out, because I was like, come on, man, this DEA thing, we need to hurry up and wrap this ish up. We need to hurry up and get to it. But we have. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.